Hey guys, welcome back to another recording. My name's Devin Adams. I'm a Fortinet instructor here in Tempe, Arizona. I work for Dynamic Worldwide and I record these videos for the people who have taken my class. Anyways, I've been recording several of them, trying to build up to the point where I can start doing demos and things like that. It's taking forever, guys. I'm so sorry for that. But I'm waiting for my labs to boot up for my classes next week, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's do a video. So in the last video, we created a basic internet access SD-WAN rule and some performance SLAs, so it would always take the best path. And the reason why we did that is because there is a implicit load balancing algorithm that sits at the bottom of the SD-WAN. So as you throw interfaces into it, if you don't define the rules, it falls right through and gets load balanced. So the FortiGates have been doing this for a while now. It's called equal cost multipath WAN load balancing, and we don't want that to happen when we start putting in our VPN tunnels. So in this video, and I was gonna do a bunch of stuff like at once, and I thought to myself, you know what, I better just take it slow and just do it one step at a time because I know it can be confusing even for myself. But in this video, we are basically going to start slowly building out our hub and spoke topology to our headquarters FortiGate. So we're going to use the SD-WAN interface doing this. We're not going to be doing the point-to-point wizard, which makes it pretty easy. We're going to do it with the SD-WAN simply because we can have a little bit more flexibility over which VPN tunnels to take. So, and I have done videos on this. So, if you guys want to check that out, just go to my playlist. But this is the first time I'm doing it with 623. So, and then after that, we did create some loopbacks in some earlier videos, and we are going to at least create the health checks for those connections, or at least this first connection here using that loopback interface. And hopefully, once this thing gets rolling, adding the additional tunnels should not be too difficult. So in this one, we're going to take this first WAN connection over here in the headquarters, and we're going to connect it over to our New York office. So normally VPN tunnels do not have IP addresses associated with them. All right, they get encapsulated at the WAN interface, traverse the internet, and then they get stripped off. And yeah, there's usually no need for IP addresses. Well, here we are going to add IP addresses. All right. So that's one thing that we can do on the FortiGates, and this is going to kind of act like a, I don't know a good way to describe it other than just like maybe like a management IP address for that VPN tunnel. So, but basically, when we add it to the SD-WAN, we can tell it to pass it off to these IP addresses. And I drew a little red line here using these tools in GNS3 because you know what, it will get a little bit complicated once we start doing everything. So, but let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to load up the DC office here because I've been using the domain controller. Such a bad idea. You never do this in real life, but I wanted a Windows environment. And as you guys can see, I did make some of our interfaces publicly facing just for simplicity, but I'm going to go to headquarters here. I'm going to log in. All right, there we go. And let's go ahead and take a look at what we got so far. So if we go to network, all right, and we go to our SD-WAN, you'll see here that we have our 4 WAN connections. I don't know why I did 4. I must have been going crazy. Whatever. Okay. So what we're going to do here, though, is that we're going to say create new. All right. And when we drop down our interfaces, there's this VPN plus. So here we go. And we're going to say, hey, you know what? This is going to be going to NYC. All right. And our remote IP addresses are 10.200.5.1. I'm just going to verify that super quick. So, yep, right there. Okay. And then our outgoing interface, see how we could, if we wanted to, we could select all 4 of these interfaces. But you know what? That's what I meant by we're just going to make it nice and simplistic for the first example here. All right, so we don't get too crazy. Okay, and then after that, we go ahead and we hit create. And there you go. We now have this interface here. But if you notice, there's no gateway. Okay, so I'm just going to hit cancel super quickly. All right, and I'm going to go to my interfaces. I'm going to go to my SD-WAN. All right, I'm going to expand that. And there's my Cox connection. These are all make-believe, of course. And I'm going to double click here and I'm going to put an IP address associated with here. So here we go. I'm going to say allow it to have ping access and 10, 10, 21. All right. And then on the other side, it's going to be 20.2 with the /32. I'm going to hit OK. And that is how we put IP addresses on our VPN tunnel. So now we're going to come back to our SD-WAN rules. All right, not SD-WAN rules, my bad, my SD-WAN. Okay, I'm going to say create new, drop down to that New York tunnel. Okay, and the gateway is going to be 10, 10, 20, 2. Now, if you guys are just wondering, the naming convention, the IP convention that I'm doing here is the 10, see the 1, see the 20, see the 2. That's kind of what I was thinking there. I was trying to keep it all within the 10 range just to make, summation and CIDR easier later down the road. Anyways, so, but there you go. So we have one side of our tunnel. Not too bad, huh? So let's go ahead and hop over here to New York City, okay? And let's go ahead and do the same in reverse, all right? If New York City is even alive. I don't even remember what I was doing over here, to be honest with you. So, all right. Sure, go slow as dirt. It's all good. We have all the time in the world. Okay. Okay, forget it. I'll do it from this side. So normally it wouldn't be publicly facing, but I did did turn on management on the WAN interface there just because for simplicity reasons. We can do that kind of stuff when it's a lab environment. So hey, that was kind of interesting. All right, there. Oh, look at that. That's kind of weird. I wonder if I have like weird asymmetrical routing going on or something. So let me try from this side again. Is this New York? Yeah, it's New York. I think the application just crashed. It's been a couple of days since I touched the lab environment, so heaven forbid that these demos ever go smoothly, right? So, all right, come on, buddy. I don't know why I just lost my. I think I was shaking it too hard. Bring it back. There we go. All right, let's go to 10. I don't know why that's going so slow, to be honest with you. All right, that should be our firewall. Okay. Yep, take your time. It's all good. Here all day. All right, here we go. So now from the New York side, hopefully, maybe I'll edit out some of that that business. All right, sorry. I just laugh at just how horrible these videos are. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to our network. All right, let's go to our SD-WAN. And we're just going to do the same in the opposite direction. So we're going to say create new, and we're going to say our interface is our VPN, and we're going to say 2HQ 10, 10, oh, my bad, 200.1.1, our outgoing interface. And like I said, now normally we could select multiple here, and that's the whole purpose of having this interface. It's supposed to be creating these VPN tunnels for multiple interfaces to be easy. But like I said, I just don't want that complexity for right now, just in case something goes wrong, or just so it's not as confusing. We'll add more later on. So there we go. We'll hit close. All right. And then we'll just hit cancel, and then we'll go to our interfaces. So then expand the SD-WAN. Here we are. There it is. Rocking at the bottom. There we are. There we are. And as you can see, there's no IP addresses associated with it. So let's open her up. All right. And we'll say, well, we don't need to put anything. The name describes it enough. So, but this is going to be 10.10.20.2. And the other side of that is going to be our headquarters, just like we made before. We'll do a little pingy ping action. All right, there we are. Nice. And then after that, we have to add it back into the SD-WAN. So, all right, here we go. To HQ, right? And we're going to pass it off to 10.10.20.1 and hit OK. And believe it or not, that should be enough to get started. So there's a couple of things we have to do, all right, before we can actually make all this work. Now, just as a heads up, okay, it's been my personal experience. Let's go to the SD-WAN rules real quickly. So in the last video, we made this general internet connection, right? And we didn't care where it was coming from or where it was going out, but it picked the one that had the least latency. And the reason why is because when I added in that third connection, which was a VPN tunnel, I didn't want it to fall through into this load balancing algorithm down here because, you know, it would not be able to make it out to the internet. We don't have any of our firewall rules to do that, even if we wanted to. I mean, technically speaking, I guess we could backhaul all of it to one location, but that's not the point unless we had some kind of like MPLS connection or something like that. But anyways, so just something to keep in mind here. Now, before we create our second part here, and that is the health check using the loopback, we need to make sure that it can actually reach the loopback. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a really insecure rule. Maybe I'll fix that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and go to our policy and objects. All right, I'm going to say create new, and I'm just going to call this something like VPN loopback health check. I don't know. I'm trying to abbreviate here. So, but it's going to pop out of the SD-WAN. Okay. And it's going to hit the loopback and only the loopback. So you know what? This is what I meant. I don't really care where it's coming from. I don't care where it's going to. All right. The services, the only thing we're going to allow is ICMP for right now. Okay. Heck, we could have said all. No natting. All right. And then we hit OK. That should be enough for it to be able to ping the loopback before we make the health rule. Now let's go ahead and do it on the other side. All right. So here we are back at our headquarters. We're going to go to policies, IP4. All right. And then, geez, look at all this business going on here. I don't even know what's going on here. All right. See, I'm already writing too many rules. So once again, we'll just say VPN, loopback, health check, and then it's going to pop out of the SD-WAN. Okay. And it is going to hit the loopback. And I don't care. I don't care. We'll just say all ICMP. All right. Don't really need NAT. Okay. Now that should be enough for the firewall policies to be okay with it. Now, with the VPN tunnel, though, it's not going to get initiated unless there is a route for it. Okay, so my loopback, by the way, I can't even remember what I did my loopbacks for. I'm gonna have to look that up real quick. So, all right, so it was 10, 1, 2, 7. Okay, so so basically, when we have traffic routed down a VPN tunnel, it has to make a route lookup, and that's where these SD-WAN rules come into place. So basically, when we make our rule here to allow that to happen, it is making the route. It's making a policy route for it. All right, so let's go ahead and say create new. All right, and I'm just going to say, here we go. I'm going to say VPN, loopback, health check, just once again. Don't really care where it's coming from, but for the destination, all right, I am going to make a loopback address with the /16. So if it's trying to go to a 10.127.00, okay. Ah, geez, that's the name. That's not the IP address. I'll just call this loopback. All right, with the /16. So in other words, it's going to look at the first two octets there. All right. Bloop. We're going to go ahead and pick the best quality. The best quality of what? You guys see our VPN tunnel here? I'm not seeing our VPN tunnel. Where is our VPN tunnel? Okay, that has to be a bug because I'm not seeing our VPN tunnel in our interfaces here. Do you guys see that? Oh man, all right. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, did I not hit OK? I guess I didn't. Jeez, what a weird thing not to do. Here we go. Did I skip that part? Anyways, that was really awkward. All right. Anyways, let me hit apply. Okay, to New York. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's try that again. Okay. VPN loopback health check. Oops, HQ health check. So anyways, I don't care about the source, but once again, if it's going towards a loopback, all right, I wanted to go ahead and pick the best quality. The best quality of what? We only have one for right now. All right. Now we did not do a health check here, but we eventually will. All right. So you know what? For right now, I better just do manual. So until we can get more interfaces in there. Okay. So, but guys, these rules are top down. So don't forget to drag it above the other. Okay. So, all right. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and do it now in New York City. Okay. So we'll go to our SD-WAN and we'll go to our SD-WAN rules. All right. We'll say create new and we'll say VPN loopback health check. We don't care where it's coming from, but we do care about that loopback address. So we'll say create new address. Loopback health check. I think I screwed up my naming convention. 10.2.7.0.0 with the /16. All right. Okay. And we'll just manually pick it for right now. Okay. Don't forget to drag it and drop it above the other. All right. I don't even want to look there. I don't even want to see what's going on there. Anyways, so let's go ahead and do one more thing. Are you guys ready? Performance SLA. Okay. We're going to create new. All right. And we're going to say this is going to be our VPN, I don't know, health check. Okay. And our server address here, because it's going to be going to New York. All right. All right, not New York, to headquarters. We're going to say 227.01, and our participants are going to be our VPN tunnel. All right. And then, if you guys notice, look at that. What? Yeah, that's right. That's the health of our VPN. Come on, that's cool, guys. That's cool. Everyone just calm down. Okay. So that's actually pinging through the VPN tunnel to get the statistics there. Now you're going to see in later videos when we start adding the tunnels here, we can actually make it check constantly the VPN connections between all those different carriers and it take the best one that it can find when it comes to what you call it when it comes to the actual quality of the link. All right, let's go ahead and finish this up and do it on the other side, okay? Because it was all leading up to this. So there we go. So we're going to say performance SLA. Okay, we're going to say create new, and we're going to say VPN health check NYC is what it should have said, New York City. The server is going to be 10 dot, and I did not do my naming convention very well. I apologize, guys. The participants is going to say to New York City. I'm going to hit OK. All right. And as you can see, what? Yeah, that's right. We now have a health check. Okay. So, um, not not too bad, right, guys? So, there you go. So, what did we do here? So basically, we made our SD-WAN VPN tunnel to New York City. And then after that, we wrote a rule to allow the loopback to be pingable through the VPN tunnel. Then we made sure that that rule was in the SD-WAN rules. When I said rule, I meant like our firewall policy rule. Then we had to make our SD-WAN rule here, all right, to make sure that it was doing the routing, because this does make a policy-based route, okay? And make sure that it goes beyond the more generic one here, because it is a top-down, okay, with the rules, all right? And then lastly, we made a performance SLA for the VPN tunnels so we can keep an eye on the packet loss, latency, and jitter. Okay, so we'll take it to the next level in the next video, guys. I don't know when that will be, but we'll go ahead and make another VPN connection and make it pinging through that loop. And hopefully, because the structure of it's there, it will not be too complicated. So sorry for the kind of long video. I hope that wasn't too confusing, and I'll see you guys next time.